Hey now Deadheads, we are back again. Another exciting vinyl release from the Grateful Dead. It's been a very busy season for Grateful Dead releases, especially on vinyl, with a few more to come. But today we're taking a look at that live album Without a Net from some touring that they did around that era. And this is a special one because many know that it's been hard to get on vinyl. This is a release that has not been easy to come by. Apparently, according to Discogs, there was a release way back in 1990 on vinyl, kind of hard, few and far between, hard to find, rather expensive on the secondhand market. And then, of course, the Vinyl Me Please Story of the Grateful Dead box set. They came out with a beautiful colored edition of this release alongside a bunch of all analog original studio albums from the Grateful Dead. And a lot of people were buying up that admittedly gorgeous box set just for this release, because I mean, who doesn't have Working Man's Dead? Who doesn't have American Beauty? A lot of those, they were very high quality pressings, all analog. They, people say rival the MoFi 45s, except they're not 45 RPM, and so a little bit less of a headache. But I digress, because today we can get this thanks to the recent Arista re-releases of Grateful Dead records. We can get this as a standalone record and not pay for that rather expensive, I think $400 box set that they put out. I don't need duplicates of all the rest of the albums, so I'm quite happy about this. Like I said, Arista recently came out with this, and Built to Last were the first two re-releases that they're doing of the Arista Grateful Dead re-release series. I think I saw about a day or two ago that Terrapin Station and In the Dark are next. I saw a rumor that there's colored editions, but I couldn't find. I looked on Elusive Disc, I looked on Amazon, I didn't see anything about colored editions, but if you don't have those copies, it might be time to pick that up. Apparently they're quite good pressings from what all the press releases and hype stickers are saying. But let's talk about Without a Net. Without further ado, let's take a look at what's inside this jacket. Now, the first thing that we notice is the beautiful cover art. I have the CD of this, but seeing that big 12 by 12 sleeve, it really is something special, that cover art. You see I saved the hype stickers, 3 LPs of Live Dead, and this is newly mastered by David Glasser, produced for release by the one and only Dave Lemieux. Now this one is one of those trifold jackets that I don't love. The photography in this is really incredible. I love these beautiful photos, 90s photos of the Dead and all of their set pieces. Really incredible stuff. And on the back we have the track listing. Standouts for this, for me, are the Eyes of the World, as well as the side with Help Slip Franklin's Tower. The Eyes of the World is really good because you get Branford Marsalis playing some saxophone on that. Really quite special Eyes of the World for all the Branford fans out there. And when we take a look at the albums, they're in these polyline sleeves, relatively clean, not in bad condition like some of those black polyline sleeves that they've been using lately for Grateful Dead Productions releases. And then when we look at the vinyl, you see that reproduction of those classic Arista Grateful Dead labels. I gotta say, keeping this video a little bit on the short and sweet side, it's a really killer release. I mentioned a few standout tracks for me. The Eyes of the World, the Help Slip Franklin side. Great playing for kind of that later era Grateful Dead before they got into the 90s and all of those releases seemed to kind of fall off. Really enjoying it. And it's got me wondering and maybe wanting a little bit more of that late Brent Midland era of the Grateful Dead. I went back and I listened to some of those 1989 releases, that Nightfall of Diamonds release. Got a CD release. Hasn't really, we haven't really heard much from that individual release or really too much 89 lately, especially on the vinyl front. We don't have a lot of that late 80s vinyl. Kind of hoping we see some of that next year. Not everyone's favorite era of Dead, but definitely a section in my CD and vinyl collection that's a little bit light. I would like to see a vinyl release of Nightfall of Diamonds, or a vinyl release of even that, I think that was the 1990 or 1991 Terrapin Station CD release that they did. Not the album, but Terrapin Station, I think it was called Limited Edition or something like that. I did a video about that about a year ago. Would like to see more of that era released on vinyl. Not complaining about we're getting a 1969 release coming out soon for a Record Store Day. We're surely going to get a lot more early 70s coming out soon. But would like to see a little bit more of that era of Dead represented in some of these vinyl box sets. A lot to look forward to, though, over the next few months. We've got Record Store Day coming up, 2 Jerry Garcia releases, 1 Grateful Dead release, that Fillmore 1969 rounding out the CD box set, but now in 4 vinyl box sets, so really excited about that one. And then, like I said, those Arista releases coming out in January, Terrapin Station and In the Dark. And then, of course, we've got the next year to look forward to, 2024. So we'll see what the year of Mars Hotel brings us, the year of maybe another Dave's Picks release being announced, and who knows what other tricks that they have up their sleeves. I really wish I could see, what's in the hopper with Dave Lemieux and company over at Grateful Dead Productions. But stay tuned to this channel if you want to stay up to date with some of the news of these releases. I typically post or mention them, upcoming releases in these videos when I hear about them, and you can stay updated by clicking that subscribe button down below this video. No pressure, don't have to if you don't want to, but if you're trying to stay on top of all these Grateful Dead releases, it might help you out a little bit. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video and joining me today. I hope you're enjoying Without a Net as much as I am. I've been really, really enjoying this over the past few days. Peace.